Being truly happy, healthy, disease-free, and fulfilled in this modern day and age is 100% an uphill battle, simply due to the fact that, at least in the Western world, everyone is living in such ignorance that, there's virtually no concept of what true health is, and no understanding of a simple fact that when you actually give a human the inputs, that being correct environment and the correct food to nourish their organism, when you give a human those inputs, they will yield the best outcomes in health and happiness. And there's no critical thought around this. People just accept, the diets they've grown up in, what they've been fed as children, what their parents have fed them, what there is advertised to them in grocery stores, in supermarkets, all that marketing bullshit. People just 100% accept that as, this is how we're meant to eat. Diet isn't such a great part, doesn't play such a significant role. Maybe the extent to critical thought that does occur is maybe supplementation or calorie counting, which again is an incomprehensive, very surface level approach to health. It's such a simple philosophy, and I don't really understand why no one else gets it, that you can see the evidence. You can obviously, myself, try it out for yourself, but just intuitively, in common sense, in logical thinking, when you give any organism, whether it be a human, whether it be a cat, for example, Pottinger's cats, any organism, the inputs that they are evolved to thrive on and to make use of best, compared to something deficient, something cooked up in a lab, something thought of by the conscious mind of man, which is obviously deficient, obviously toxic, you're going to get far worse outcomes. And for most people, unless they're actually born to intelligent parents or traditional families who actually feed them real foods and let them live somewhat of a natural life, this stuff has to come with a deep curiosity or a motivation to actually learn and to figure out what is at least closest to the truth. And that comes through pain, comes through disease, comes through poor outcomes, maybe in just developmental life experience, all this stuff, which absolutely is not the best way to go about it, because here you have maybe 0.5% of humans in a populace actually getting somewhat close to, actually taking the steps to improve their life and improve their health on a real level, while everyone else is, prefers to just live in this ignorance. So yeah, that's why I say it's an uphill battle, because you actually have to have that experience and have that motivation to go against the grain and to go against what is convenient in terms of what's available at supermarkets, what society tells you to eat, what your school or family wants you to eat. I absolutely did that at 14 when I started the raw meat diet. I took that into school. Obviously I got weird looks. Obviously it's not a normal thing to do. Even at home, I had to stop eating meals with my family because my family's not making and preparing all this raw foods. So it's just of my own volition, of my own motivation, that I went down this path of alternative health, which is why I'm saying it's an uphill battle. It's a difficult thing to start, at least, but I will say that when you get started, the momentum builds, because obviously with something that is actually truly objectively beneficial, such as the stuff I'm doing, being in the sun, eating the raw foods, living this healthy lifestyle, you're going to feel that validation in the better feelings, the more energy day to day, the more stable mood, all the better outcomes that you're receiving. Obviously clear skin, having just healthy energy. I don't know, just all these things just truly validate what you're doing and the thought that has gone behind it. Because first you discover maybe the raw meats, the lifestyle, through a bit of conscious thought, nature knows best, that sort of philosophy. But then that's absolutely validated just by personal experience. It's validated in studies and others' experience. But the best way to build that momentum is in your own life experience. And then, no matter what anyone says, people ask me all the time, don't you just wish you were normal? Don't you wish, or do you ever want to eat some fast food or anything like that? It's never a question in my mind, because I love doing what I'm doing and it feels good to do. And if I go back to what society is, what's normal in society and what's acceptable, I'll literally feel that's at the detriment to my happiness, well-being, health. And I feel that when you eat a really shitty diet, you're not going to know in the moment if that's all you eat, because that's your baseline of health. That's all the experience you're privy to. You don't know what you don't know. That's your own ignorance. That's your own cave you're stuck in. But when you actually see the light, when you can experience what true health is, or at least get a glimpse, at least get closer to that, there's no going back. Because health as a human organism, as a live animal, health is your number one priority, because you want to prolong your own lifespan. You want to avoid, death. You want to, remain fertile, remain able to reproduce, all these things. That's like your most internal biological motivator. When you actually get that taste of, what it is to have more energy and to have a better mood and to be, just higher vitality, all this stuff, like your organism gets addicted to it, and like there literally is no going back. It's like anyone who maybe tries the raw meat or tries a little bit of sunlight and stuff, and then does decide to go back, I just say that they haven't committed fully enough to what it really takes to truly feel the benefit, because you will feel the benefit objectively. This stuff is 100% better than the stuff you're doing now, the vegan diet, the fast food diet, the ultra processed grain sludge, cooked, overcooked, dead, dry meat. This stuff is 100% better than that. So it's just like giving it the time, trying enough foods, doing the right steps to give yourself the experience to like actually reach that next level and feel what it's like to exist on higher vibrations of life, essentially, to have your cells operate at such a higher, more efficient level in terms of cellular operations that, there's no going back. Your body gets that taste, it's addicted. It's literally impossible. Everyone knows this intuitively. What is healthy, we chase, we seek. Just think of like where everyone goes for vacation, for holidays. They will go to either like a nature spot, maybe camping, maybe hiking, or they'll go to like a beach, a tropical beach, getting sunlight, eating good local clean food, because that's what their body craves, and that's what they like love the feeling of the most. And like where the disconnect is in that people don't realize that should just be 100% their life. They should make the necessary changes to their job or to their living situation that they can actually live more in alignment with nature, compared to having like this natural existence just being like a 1 week of the year sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing, obviously, with my business, coaching the lifestyle and diet that I already love. So it's doing something I love, but then I've got the privilege of actually being outside here in nature. But you don't even need to do what I do. There's a million ways to actually set up your life around this. Worst case, you're gonna stay a 9 to 5 wage slave, and like, oh, maybe you love it, whatever. Who am I to say if you love something? Who am I to tell you to stop? Just keep doing what you're doing. But in that case, like maybe you're going into an office daily, during your lunch break, just like getting outside, if there's sunlight, taking your shirt off, getting grounded, bringing in like a nice, more natural meal, like an animal-based type of meal, just like doing these things. And if you're making like really small changes, how much of the benefits you'll feel. I mean, you feel it in the moment. I think when you are in sunlight, like your body releases its own natural opioid to literally get you addicted to the sun. When you eat like nutritious, maybe high saturated fat animal foods, like that satisfies all the internal cravings. So you will get that validation immediately. But I always think like it's best to just commit the full way to really give your body the full hit of what it is to be a healthy, true, natural human. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Set up your life around that so you can actually incorporate this natural stuff into your life. Obviously, when I was in high school, I was just like signing out, making up that I had appointments all day just so I could like go to the park and get a nice tan. In between periods, I'd just be out in the sun, tanning obviously, and then obviously I'd bring my own food in. So, it's just a fact of motivation. And if you don't actually have that pain to motivate that fully, obviously everyone today has this pain because they are living a suboptimal life. They're dissatisfied with maybe their looks, their happiness, their health, their energy, any of these things. But if you don't really have that massive motivator, I would just say like go off the little motivator, the vision for the future you want, maybe any of these things, and then take the step to actually make either the subtle changes or just like fully commit to like living healthily and optimally for like 1 month and like really immerse yourself in everything. And I mean, you're going to experience what sticks. What sticks will stick. The stuff that you actually feel that validation in results from you'll keep up, I assume. And then you'll actually give yourself a taste of what a more natural lifestyle diet is. Given the fact that most likely all of you watching, growing up in like the Western world, growing up in cities, in towns, with supermarkets and shops all around you, maybe having baby formula, cereal, growing up, all these things, like this is a way of living that you've never experienced. So, I mean, maybe you're a critic of mine. I don't really take much offense to what my critics say. Obviously, I can engage in a conversation, in an argument, any of this stuff, in a debate, but until they've actually experienced what I've experienced, until they've like lived this life for 4 years and felt the great results, whatever like bullshit science they believe in has no merit. My own personal experience and my own outcomes of happiness and health and just like peace of mind, stable energy, personality, which, underlying all of these things, beauty as well, athleticism, all of these things is health. You can't say that I'm like unhealthy when all these things that I just listed and could list more, all to a great standard, to maybe a top 10%, a top 1%. Testosterone for men my age, I'm like top 1 to 2% in that category, and that's all natural without any supplements. Like my doctor, he asked me when I got my blood tested, like to review it with him, he asked me like 3 times, are you taking any supplements? Like I don't get, or he just didn't seem to believe that my biomarkers could be at that level purely naturally, like literally just living a good lifestyle, low stress. Like I don't even exercise or go to the gym as anyone would ask me to, or any health gurus today would say. It's all about exercise, whatever. I don't count calories, I don't track my foods or anything. I just really eat the foods that humans are intended to eat, and I live the lifestyle that humans are intended to eat. The takeaways for this video is just try stuff out, give your body and yourself the chance to experience these greater levels of health. Realize that you don't know what you don't know. That goes for everything, even myself. But at this stage, having not experienced what I've experienced, you're living in ignorance. And until you take the risk to actually go ahead and change your life for the better, or at least have the intent to change your life for the better, you're just going to stay where you are. And unfortunately, maybe you have kids, or maybe, I don't know, unfortunately, if you have kids, your future children, and you don't actually have this understanding, they will be victim to the same system and to the same dysfunctional society that you were victim to. You're probably going to feed them cereals, feed them ultra-processed desserts and foods and all these things. They'll grow up to be an underdeveloped, sickly, low vitality human being, probably ugly, probably fat, probably chronically ill. Maybe they'll bald early, all this stuff. And that's due to the fact that you didn't give yourself this education, inexperience, because experience is education. I think it's the best education, early enough. So yeah, that's all there is. I'd say if you do actually want specific help with it, I do offer one-on-one mentorship, coaching, but you can DM me the word raw on Instagram to get that. But otherwise, I just follow along with the channel, follow my Instagram because that's where I'm active the most, and just see what I'm doing day to day and pursue that own curiosity that you have. Because obviously if you're watching this video, at least watching this long, 14 minutes in, I'll edit it so probably less, then there's something that you are being called to pursue and called to try. And I would absolutely say to you, I'd absolutely tell you to do that, because that's what I did. And now I'm living my best life, and I'm on the path that I feel absolutely fulfilled in pursuing all this stuff, all this good stuff. So nothing's bad come of it. At the end of the day, you're sick, greater levels of health exist. Figure out using your head a little bit, think a little bit. Don't be a fucking retard who just regurgitates what they're told in school. Figure out, at least try stuff out to get to these greater levels, because as a human, you're meant to have a happy, healthy, fulfilled life. You're not meant to be depressed day to day. It's not meant to be a struggle to get out of bed and to work and support your family and to all these things. You're not meant to be ugly. You're not meant to be short. You're not meant to be fat. You're not meant to have chronic illness. You're not meant to be balding at 18. Any of this stuff. You're not meant to have acne. Realize health is everything. And I forgot the word. I was going to say, I implore you to pursue that, to act on that curiosity. Thanks for watching, guys.